Hey guys, Todd from Great Escape Farm here. Today I'm going to harvest some canna plants, and they are obviously they look a little sad here. Well, that's because we've had a frost, and that's kind of what I need to harvest them. And Murphy, you have to be the star of the show, don't you? Come on, move along, guy. So Murphy, my rat terrier, has got to be in all my videos. Anyhow, so these are canna plants, or canna as somebody pronounces, as some people pronounce them. They're C-A-N-N-A. They are tropical / subtropical plants, and you want to wait until you get the first frost here before you harvest them. Actually, let me go ahead and give you some basics on these plants. So the basics on canna, or canna is actually a tropical plant or a subtropical perennial that comes back every year in USDA hardiness zones 8B or higher, and it will die if left in the ground when temperatures go below 14 degrees Fahrenheit. Cannas are native to warm areas of the Americas. The canna plant, which is Canna indica, which is what I have here, also sometimes called the canna lily, it has broad, flat, alternate leaves that grow 6 to 10 foot high. Its leaves are large and green, sometimes brown to maroon, and occasionally variegated. High winds can tear the leaves, so many times they are planted in areas that protect them from strong winds. The canna requires 6 to 8 hours of full sun and moderate water in well-drained, rich or sandy soil. In areas colder than USDA hardiness zones 8, you must dig the plants up to overwinter them. This is done by waiting until the first frost causes the leaves to blacken, kind of like, not really blacken, but brown, kind of like what we have here. And then cut the stalks back about 2 to 3 inches above the ground, and we'll be doing that in just a moment. Then you dig them up, and the way you do that is you loosen the soil around the rhizomes, or the roots kind of like carrots, the rhizomes that they have, and remove the ground from around them. You remove any dirt from around the rhizomes, but do not brush them, as this will scratch or damage the rhizomes. So to store these, we're going to want to harden the rhizomes off, and you do this by leaving them exposed to air in 60, 80 degree temperatures for about a week or so. Then you put the rhizomes in a medium or something soft to store them in that will allow them to breathe. I use a tub with peat moss or a bag with peat moss. You can also use shredded newspaper or anything that is soft and will allow them to breathe. At this point, you can go ahead and store the rhizomes in a cool place that does not go below freezing. I'll be putting mine in my garage. From time to time, it does go below freezing in my garage. I'll just bring them in when I know that's going to happen. It only goes below freezing in my garage when we get down below the teens, so in the single digits. Outside my garage will get down to freezing. You can also store them in a root cellar, a crawl space, under a house or something like that. Or you can actually even put them in a refrigerator, anywhere that'll keep them cool so they're not trying to grow and just kind of keeps the energy in the rhizomes. Okay, so I have my cutters here, and I was actually thinking about this. I might want to use kitchen scissors instead, because I don't know, actually these are firm enough, they probably will go ahead and cut up pretty good. So what I want to do is, there you go, yeah, trim them about 2 to 3 inches from the ground. I'm just going to toss the stalks aside, and I will go ahead and grab those, recycle them, well, not recycle, but put them in the compost bin later. Okay, so I have them cut back. So what I'm going to do now is just go ahead and take a shovel, and I just want to dig around and loosen the soil. And I don't want to dig on the back side because I'm in my pool area and I have outside speakers here. So I'm pull these off and I shake these guys up. And so they spend all summer growing, so they are usually much larger and go off in different directions than what you plant them. So you got to be a little careful when you're pulling them out. So if you look at this one, I just put in a little stalk here, and these things are all growing in all different directions here. So I'm just going to try to pull off all the small roots here, get as much dirt off as I can. Come back to that one in a minute. It actually ended up breaking off into 3 pieces here. Okay guys, so the roots or the rhizomes that I harvested in my yard, I'm going to use those to go ahead and cook. So I had a friend from work go ahead and bag up some here for me, and he wrote, these are green. I don't know if you can see that from there. Actually, you probably can. It's out of range. But he wrote green on this one, and then I have another bag of purple. So I'm going to dump these out, And I put a tarp out just so I didn't make too much of a mess. So what I'm going to do is just cut open the bag of peat moss. I went out to Home Depot last night and bought that. Put my knife away here. And I am try not to make too big a mess here. Get it up a little closer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a layer on the bottom, and then I'll put a layer of the canna roots on. There we go. And I'll just grab some of these and put them in and spread them out. Then I'll put some more on. And spread that out. And what I'm trying to do is get it so that I don't have a bunch of roots up against each other. So if one does end up rotting, it will end up rotting out the whole bunch. With the peat moss in between, it will prevent that from happening. So if I do end up with any of them rotting, it'll be just that one. A couple more on here. And I'll tell you what, it was very nice of my buddy from work going ahead and getting these all set for me. He cut them, pulled them back, pulled them out, cleaned them up. Saved me a lot of work there. Plus it gave me a lot more than what I had before. I'll take these out to the farm. Okay, so let me just show you what I got here. So I think that's got it. So that's what it looks like there. And then you can see underneath, I just layered up the peat moss on it. Just lay them across in a single layer, add peat moss on top. So I'll go ahead and finish that out and then just leave them in the garage. I put them up close to the house where it's a little bit warmer, and leave them out. If we do get down below, like I say, 13, 14 degrees outside, my garage will go below freezing, and that's just experience of my garage. Everybody's is going to be a little different. So if I see in the forecast that we're going to get that low, then I'll grab these and just put them inside until we warm back up some. So that's it for this video. Please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Also, check out our blog post at greatescapefarms.com. Thank you very much and have a great day.